But yeah, so let's transition into Mr. Nico, not Nico Amaliva, but Nico Harrison, the general manager of the
Ah,
Dallas Mavericks. So if you haven't seen it, I mean, you may have been living under a rock and not heard this one, but it's okay. So we're gonna tell you what he said. They had their exit press conference, which every team has to kind of recap their season, how the team, or not the team, but the GM felt the season went, why the season went the way it did, and what they're looking forward to doing in the off season, the next season. Obviously, I mean, might as we said 90% of the interview, 95% of it was Luka in the trade, the implications of the trade, what led up to the trade. That's pretty much the entire 20 to 25-minute interview. Kay, I'm gonna start off with you. Nico's double down. Defense wins championships. He didn't move from a lot of things that he mentioned right after they traded Luca, and he also mentioned, and probably the most ridiculous statement ever said, he didn't realize how important Luka Doncic was to the Dallas community and organization. So, Caleb, just give me a quick recap. How do you feel about Nico? Obviously, not getting fired, but or at least right now. But
that's
how do you feel about the press conference and Nico? I think he's an alien.
Dallas Mavericks. This is what happens when you hire a Nike basketball executive or a Nike executive to run your basketball organization. Just because you work in the business doesn't mean you know what you're doing when it comes to basketball decisions. Um, I told y'all from day one I didn't like the trade. Like it made no sense to me. You're trading a young superstar um, in his prime for, I mean, a star, superstar, whatever you want to call it, D, in his own right. But injury riddled. Let's call it what it is. He's never, well, not that he's never had health issues. Let me not say that, but he hasn't been the most consistent health wise, and that's not his fault per se. But I don't see why you would like that's this is it was an unprecedented trade. You've never seen this in NBA history, and you probably never will again. Just because of the fact that the guys, Ethan blanked this out. The guys hard. Um, so, uh, and then the question that the reporter asked was beautiful because it was on everyone's mind. Nico, why shouldn't you be fired? The answer is you should. You shouldn't have a job. Um, they need to kick this bum to the curb. That's all I have to say.
Ethan, go ahead, man. How you feeling?
I mean, it's. I mean, how do you explain it? I mean, the same way I was calling for the Nuggets GM to be fired. He should be fired. He should have been fired after
He
that
did a
trade.
worse job than the Nuggets GM, though. So,
Sure, sure.
I
like,
don't you mean
But I'm
prior to the
saying
Luka trade.
no. I'm not.
I w-
No, not
I was gonna
prior.
say I wouldn't
Prior,
agree
I
with
think he
that.
was doing fine.
No, that Luka trade wipe out everything that you
After,
did
yeah, exactly,
since you've been hired
exactly,
and wipe
Yeah,
everything out.
exactly. So I mean, what do you do here? I think he should be fired. That's what happens when ownership is changed. So I hope the same thing doesn't happen to the Celtics. But Mark Cuban left, and it's up to whoever's running the show, I guess, to call the shots of decision. For
and
him
I'm
to
I'm
say
gonna.
that he
Oh,
doesn't know how much Luca
yeah,
means
that's
to
that's crazy.
Dallas
Yeah,
is
that's
that's like
asinine.
that's like saying how much LeBron means to Cleveland, like people that live in Cleveland. Like that makes no like you don't know how much he means. That makes no sense to me. But listen, if that's what he truly believes, that's on him. He tried to walk out the door. Door was locked. Almost like what's that defensive?
Hey, that
What's
was
that
a funny.
defensive
Hey,
dude?
that was the
Jamal
funniest part
Adams
of
when he was
that.
trying to get when he
He
was trying
trying
to
to
get
get
into
out
the
the
jet
room. They
sweep.
locked him in the room. Oh
You're
Lord.
like, oh no, we're not done
When
yet.
Jamal Adams tried to get into the Jets training facility, he couldn't.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like
it's like
locked.
that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just add this because I mean, I ain't got too much to add. I played devil's advocate when it first happened. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the end of the season came and went. Once Kyrie went down, well, it was like, well,
Yeah.
because again, it was like again, as a Dallas fan, you're never gonna recover from this. But AD comes, has 40 and 50. Okay, okay, like oh, okay. Then Kyrie goes down. AD pulls the abductor. Season's over. Burn down Dallas. But anyway, I just want to add. Now, this obviously came from the top, right? New ownership, the new they say, and to the point that we were talking about off camera, about owners and just everything being money driven. This is just from a personal experience of me, but like I'm a WWE fan, and ever since TKO, if you know, like the brand that kind of bought out WWE and UFC, like them, everything's about money now. It isn't about storylines. It isn't about this. It's, hey, can we sell merch? Can we sell tickets? Same thing with this ownership group. They want to bring a casino. So hey, casino brings obviously gamblers money. We don't want to pay Luka whatever, 300 million, be over the second apron, get him out of here. So he obviously got the blessing. And it's like, I don't know what he like. Obviously, he's gonna be the scapegoat in this at the end of the day, because if they don't make the playoffs next year,
Dr. Beaton.
like he's gonna be the scapegoat at the end of the day. Although he wanted to move on from Luca anyway, and he
Yeah.
was never gonna get that green light from any other organization other than obviously the Mavs at this time. But I just find it very interesting how money driven a lot of sports is now. And again, this was a huge domino to fall, which I'm wondering what the implications will be going forward for other big stars. But I don't think any star was on the level or the youth of Luca to be
It's
moved. So
clear.
we'll see.
You
But
cost too much. Bye bye. I
well,
don't
hey,
know.
it's brewing here in Atlanta, and I mean we don't have that as a talking point today because I don't want it to be like too centric to like here, but it's brewing now. Although there's rumblings or whatever, Trey said he's not trying to leave, but ownership is rumbling that ownership now trying to pay him 70 million a year. So we gonna find out soon enough.
I
But
mean,
I,
go ahead, man.
it's their fault that what's happening in this city and how putrid
Well,
that team has been. It's their fault. Like I don't see how you could be like, oh, I don't want to play my best player. However, whatever the market dictates, because my best
no, I
player
feel you,
is trying
but
to do his best to win.
putrid is crazy.
no, Ethan, I
No,
understand them, but I understand
what
also
help did he have?
Trey to me is not gonna be our best player if we win a championship. Like I don't feel like that
No,
way about him.
I totally agree
Hey,
with
let's
that.
not
But
get
what I'm
away.
saying is,
Yeah, no,
Hey,
I'm just
let's not
saying.
what
get
I'm
too
saying
deep
is
with
it's their
that
fault.
Atlanta. They don't nobody want to talk about no Atlanta Hawks
Oh
now.
Lord. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. Give us
Okay,
your thing
listen,
about Nico.
listen. Don't nobody want to talk about no Atlanta Hawks. Y'all already gonna steal Cooper flag from me again, so I
Yeah,
don't want to talk
Cooper.
about no Atlanta Hawks. You understand? But
In the words
anyway,
of
I got a question.
suck for flag.
What the hell is even that?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, you like saying that way too much.
Hey,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Kyle,
Yeah, that
Kyle's
is
the
a bit
flag.
extreme.
hey,
Kyle's
yo,
the flag sucker of the week.
flag sucker of the week is crazy.
hey, listen,
Hey,
hey,
we won the
uh,
sweepstakes.
hey, man, listen. Hey, I just want to say, you know, one thing, man. Nico Harrison, are you nuts? I mean, you got to be one of the dumbest mother I ever seen. I mean, like, it's just, listen, it's just a poorly run organization. Obviously, you have the new ownership. Like you said, Kyle, they don't want to, it seems as if, they don't want to, spend that type of money on a player. They got other plans. They're building around the area, the arena. And so they have their focus in other places except for building a basketball team. Now, how you sell that to the fans that we don't really care the type of product we have out there on the court, but we want you to continue to come and spend your money. I don't know, but it's just a terrible situation all around. He goes and gets rid of a 25-year-old absolute superstar, and then once he does the deal, he starts making up all of these things. Oh, he's overweight. Oh, he doesn't play defense. Listen, man, this dude's been averaging 30 points a game. You got your team to the finals last year. At least run it back. You understand? But for me, man, I don't care if you 400 pounds. If you could give me 39 and 7, you could do whatever the hell you want. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a terrible, man. The poorly run organization, again, like I said, in the midst of all of that, it's reported that came out they were sending out to their season ticket holders that they will be increasing the prices
Increasing the
30%.
prices. Yeah.
Like who thought of that? Like, I mean, this entire organization, and it's a shame because when it was ran by Mark Cuban, you never heard of any of this. He took care of the players, everybody loved him. He took care of the people, the staff in the arena, like a great ownership, great owner. You sell the team, and now look at, and I think it's only been like a year or year and a half. and look at how far they're fallen. You know,
Yeah.
this is like an absolute disgrace. It's a travesty. Okay, he said that, oh, he shouldn't be judged on this season because the season was riddled with injuries. Like, injuries aren't a part of the game. Number one, number two, you traded for a player who was injury prone. So how that works going forward, and not only is he injury prone, he's 5 years older than the superstar that you just traded away. So I mean, it's a complete disaster. Nico, like, I'm usually not a fan, and you guys know this. I am not quick to be like, fire this guy and do that. He need to be fired. Okay, all right. And if he's not fired, I'm really in fear for his life, because them people in Dallas is not playing around. You understand? Hey
Basically,
man,
his
hey, I
life.
got my ear to the streets.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? They saying them people in Dallas looking for him. You know what I'm saying? He out there in the Airbnb hiding somewhere. We don't know where
he
he at.
he must not be in Dallas. He must be in Fort Worth. Okay.
Hey, I don't know where he
Yeah,
is,
he
but he
might
hiding,
be.
and he better hide. Because if them people find him, it's just gonna be a whole new news report that we're gonna have to come on here and talk about. But anyway, man, like I said, man,
Hey,
it's an absolute travesty. It shouldn't have happened. And to try to, instead of being, humble and being, even if you still believe what you say, but you gotta give the fans what they want to hear. Oh, I'm so sorry, but look over here. Just look at what we're trying to build. I understand that
yeah,
we're injured, but this is what we're trying to build, and this is what
yeah.
my plan is. This is what we're doing. No, no, no.
Yeah,
This
but
is no. I agree with everything I did. I don't regret anything, even though you see the rebuke
It
of your
makes
fan base.
it makes it sound personal almost. You
but my
know.
thing
Yeah,
is
it's
It was
he wouldn't,
personal.
even if he did that, he wouldn't have won anybody over, whether you
Well,
say
no,
I'm
we're
sorry or
saying like
not.
the third party, like we're third
no, no,
party
no.
eyes
It's
to.
not about, but it's not about winning anyone over. It's about, how people say, coaches have that coach speak. I'm not gonna give you nothing, but I ain't gonna really, what I'm saying, I'm not gonna lean either way. You gotta kind of straddle that fence. That's what good general managers do. You understand? But when you see your fans rebuke, you understand that your job is part of what your job is not to just build a team that's on the court, but also making sure that your team remains valuable and profitable. And so that means you need people in the stands, you need people in the seats, right? And so if you don't have people in the seats, all what you're trying to build is irrelevant, because ultimately, it seems as if this ownership group only cares about money, like Kyle said. So if now you're building something that's okay on the court, but you're there's nobody there to watch it, then you're still in the same boat, right? So you had the best of both worlds. You had a superstar that people paid their money to see. They're gonna buy merch. They're gonna come to the games. They're gonna do all these things. And now, because of your
Well,
philosophy, oh, defense wins championships. He don't play defense. He's overweight. This and that. You let a
Cuban
guy
always
walk out of
said,
your door, and it's insane. The stories that are coming out. You got Dirk Nowitzki, who's been a part of that franchise. Obviously, has a statue in front of the stadium. He was upset. He had people in there. Um, they were saying like his people are leaving. The people who were close to Dirk. They had
Yeah,
split staffs, medical teams. Like it just seems like that entire organization was a mess, and it's continuing going to be a mess until they get a new person in there to kind of rework this thing.
it's not. It's. I mean, it's never going to be about a new person or a new GM or a new any other executive. It's ownership group. Mark Cuban always said that he lost money running that team, right? Because of how he took
Because
care
he
of
was,
everybody, and
yeah, because he took care of
he
people.
lowered the cost of food in the stadium. He lowered the price of tickets and merch and all these different things, right? So, um, you can obviously tell, like, again, they're trying to maximize profit with this new ownership group, and it doesn't matter who they bring in; it's never going to work if that's all it's going to be about. I understand
Yeah,
that that has to be some part of,
yeah.
running a
100%.
Obviously,
team,
you're
Because
in the
it's
business
but
to
still
make
a
money.
business.
that can't be everything, because sports are emotional. Sports are
Well, that's
something
the
that's close
thing.
to America's heart. So you
That
can't have it can't be soulless. It has to have
that
some type of soul, some type of flavor to it.
that's my problem with sports now, just as a whole. And again, this would be on the flip side, but about these owners who have no attachment to the game itself beyond seeing the team as an investment. Ask
Yeah.
Phoenix how just spending a boatload of money because they spent the money, but with no true vision, we're just gonna put a bunch of talent in this team and we're gonna win. Ask that owner how that's going out there in Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of sides to this, but if you have no connection to the game, no feel for the game, no love for the game, like it takes away from the product, right? So obviously injuries did play a part in that because Gafford was out, Lively was out. These are guys that again, Nico went and got who we were praising him a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, before they made that playoff run. Like, you get Gafford, you draft Lively, you get PJ Washington before the deadline. When he went out and got Kyrie, people was questioning that because Kyrie was on that Jewish book thing out of Brooklyn. Kyrie blossoms and man, like, oh my God, look at this move he made. He took a chance on him. We were praising this guy, right? And then
But
this
a lot of
happens.
that was Mark Cuban still too. A lot
No,
of
well,
that was still
no, I'm
Mark
saying,
Cuban.
well, ownership, yeah, but I mean, as the GM, like you, and again, you have to get the green light, at least for the Kyrie move for sure, because it was polarizing at the time. But then you make this move, and then ownership, we don't hold the ownership, they give you the green light to make this move. It's just unfortunate, set of circumstances. Again, Dallas is a basketball loving city, given what Dirk gave to that town. Like they love basketball there, so we'll see where they go moving forward. I mean, I would love for Kyrie to recover. But Kyrie's coming up on a contract, and again, with these penny
They don't
pinching
have to pay him.
owners, what? Oh, we're gonna find out, bro. Like we're gonna find out
Well, you
because
see what
him
they
coming
do,
off
and the
injury,
man ain't getting no younger. So
him coming
we
off
see what they do.
injury, and they already don't want to give out no money. We're gonna see, right? But
Bye bye.
um,
Adios.